When you're frustrated and you have conflict, do you immediately go to the source and tell the person? Do you love and embrace conflict and difficult conversations? Well, if you're like most of us, you don't. Most of us shy away from having challenging conversations in the moment with compassion. And this week, we're going to explore what that looks like. And some of you may have seen on Facebook that Brava, you can tell I'm a little bit nervous. I'm just going to own that and put it out there. That Brava magazine is going to be doing a story next week about a moment in my life when I couldn't go to the source. And one of the most challenging things I've ever had to deal with. So if you want to know more about how to subscribe, I'll share more about that at the end for those of you who would like to read their article. But today, what I want to share is how toxic it is to not go to the source. So I've been doing a number of team assessments and team retreats with organizations where I will go in and interview all of the individuals in the team and put together an assessment with the top themes of what I heard. And one of the top themes almost always is a frustration with communication. And it's some version generally of we don't communicate directly or effectively. And so what oftentimes happens in a culture when you don't is that it builds up, and that pressure to share what you're frustrated about needs to be released somewhere. And so that's when there is venting, there's gossip, there's the post-meeting meeting where instead of saying something in the moment, like, hey, I don't know if I agree with that, or I want to talk through that. It's not a safe environment. So afterwards you leave and you can you believe that he did that? Can you believe he said that? And that post-meeting meeting. Or there's triangulation, where instead of going directly to the source with your frustration, afterwards, you go to somebody else and you triangle them in and say, hey, that was so frustrating that Joe said that. Could you believe that? And it comes from family systems theory, which is fascinating, where you leave Thanksgiving and instead of saying to your aunt directly, that was really challenging when you said that. I was hurt or I was embarrassed. You call your cousin and you say, oh, can you even believe that she did that? And so you triangle in someone else. And so your anxiety is lessened and relieved, but now the anxiety in the system has grown. And that's a lot of times what I see when I'm going into organizations. And so your weekly workout for this week is to have the courage to go to the source and to deliver your message with compassion of whatever it is that is creating conflict or frustration or dis-ease. And then be curious about their experience. And give yourself the opportunity to have a meaningful conversation instead of growing the conflict by letting it fester or by spreading it and triangulating. And let me know how it goes. So if there's a conversation that you need to have, if there's a relationship that you're frustrated with, maybe a coworker who let you down, instead of venting, go to that person. Use a soft startup. Let them know that this is really hard, and that you want to honor the relationship and that you want to share something and get their opinion. Now, I will say that 3 years ago, my life exploded in the most extreme way. It's something I've never talked about publicly. And Brava magazine is writing an article, an exclusive article on my story when my husband was arrested unexpectedly for sexual assault of a minor that he had met online. It was horrendous. It was the most challenging thing I've ever had to deal with in my life. And the part of the challenge was that I couldn't go to the source. My husband was in jail. I could not reach him. I could not call him. He never came home. If you are interested in reading about my story, which it's hard, it's scary, it's vulnerable, it's challenging, and it's an honor to share, you can sign up for a free subscription with Brava Magazine, and they'll deliver it to your door. So if you go to bravamagazine.com, you can sign up for a free subscription. Then it'll be for their May issue, so it'll be coming out on May 1st. And I'll share more next week about that painful journey and why I'm deciding now at this point to talk about it after hiding for the last 3 years. So I'll see you next Thursday. Good luck with your workout. Let me know how it goes. Thanks for joining me.